Do you love a good mystery as much as me? Well, if you do, this is the project for you. Before we get started, I'm going to ask you to do all of the things. You know what they are. So, I am still catching up on batch filming. So between the video that you saw yesterday and the video you're seeing now, it literally is so hot under the lights, I changed my hair. Everything else is the same. If you're thinking, there's the mystery. Something slightly different, but I'm not sure. That was it. Oh, my cheese even makes me shake my head sometimes. Okay, I'm going to try and keep the crazy train on track for this project. I know that I went a little bit zigzaggy with the last one. So let's talk about Panmea Story Watson. This is the project that was created by Deborah. Deborah's channel is Demeter Finds Her Way. I've got that all linked below. And she did this in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies Club, or Fantastic Ladies group on Facebook. So they're also linked below. What she chose to do was take all 60 of the original Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes stories, full-length novels, and short stories, and put them into a project with a prompt for each story. She explains these really well. She gives you a great synopsis. My original goal was to read every story, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have not started, even though we're already a few months into the project. Now, this started 5/22, will run through 5/22 of next year. Yeah, May 20, yeah, okay, yeah. The hashtag on this is Panmea Story. Easy peasy. All right, we're doing monthly updates, we're doing rolling style. My goal was to do 6 prompts added in every month, so that I have time to get everything completed before the finale. I always do things a little crazy. This is no different. You guys know that. All right, let's talk about what we got going on, because we got some fun stuff. I had a hair care product, was the prompt for the Redheaded League, and I had brought in the Alternacaviar Anti-Aging Replenishing Moisture CC Cream. It's a hair moisturizer. Just a lot of words for it. This was not full. It was at 60.8 grams. I had used about half of that in July, and I used the other half, cleaned it all out. And so this one is an empty and a finished goal for this. I don't have a bag for this project. Floor works. Okay, so that pile. The next one was The Adventure of the Naval Treaty, something coffee related. For this, I brought in the Sydney Grace Coffee Talk palette, and my goal was to use each of the shades 3 times. I need to use this one, and this one still a couple more times. This one twice, these 2 just once more each. Everything else I have already used my 3 times. So we're getting close to our goal. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It is the Sydney Grace formula we all know and love. And yeah, what can you say? It is just beautiful. So that is staying in, and we will get to the rest of those uses. I'm not far from finishing that part off. The Adventure of the Solitary Cyclist was next on the list, and this was a duo product. I brought in the 200-year-old Lip Architect from Tarte in Romantic. I was going to say Charming, that's not it. Romantic was the name of this. It has a lipstick on one end, which that's all I've got, you guys. I couldn't make a new line on my card. I only literally put it on one time and then decided I was going to wear something else. But the lip liner on the other end, I broke. So I can't roll it up for you because it will fall out. It's very crooked, but I mean, you can at least see the color. It's just a peach color. It's not my favorite. Oops. Okay, roll down. There we go. When in doubt, smack it in. I have been trying to use it more, especially since it broke on me, because I'm afraid that it's going to fall out and I'm going to lose it when I get closer to the end. So for the lipstick, focus. I couldn't make a new line because there's so little left. For the lip liner, I was able to make a new line and more of a mess with it, but you can see that it is going down. I have been using it. So that will stay in the project too. I'll get rid of this thing eventually. The Adventure of the 6 Napoleons, Something Broken, is next. For that, I had brought in my NARS Orgasm Blush that I have been working on forever. It's gone. I finished it today. I'm over blushed today just to finish. There was one little speck in there. This was always there. It's not actually part of what I had repressed. But I was bound to determine that I was going to get this finished, even if I looked like Bozo the Clown with my blush today. I didn't care how much I put on because there was so little left. I was not going to leave it for half a use at another point. So this one is done and dusted and goes in the empties. Yes! A whole blush from beginning to end finished. Don't ask me how many years that took. But I did it, so we're proud of that. Then we have The Adventure of the Three Students, and this is a hand care product. And I told you guys I could get this thing done in 2 months, and I could. The problem is that it's a $22 item. This is I believe it's Vine Vera Travel Hand Cream. It's a 50 gram, 1.7 ounce. It literally maybe has a couple uses left in it. It went at the start from 47.8 grams to 27.6. I'm 19.2. I'm going to cut it open. This stuff is expensive. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It is lovely. So I am going to cut it to get the rest out. And I promise you I will have it in my empties next month. I'm babying it now because I know how expensive it is and how nice it is and because I like it. So yeah, I should have just finished it, but I was being a dummy and holding on to the really good product because we love it. Dork. Okay, The Disappearance of Lady Frances Carfax. Something you always carry with you. With that, I have an old Mary Kay Lippy in Blush Rose. This started at 8 grams and I didn't reweigh it because I forgot. But my goal is to finish this. And so it's just a nice neutral, kind of pinky neutral. My neutral is always slightly pink tinged because that's what my lips under all of this are. I've got so much pink and red on that you can't tell that. But here's my card progress. So you can see it is going down a little bit. I have been using it and taking it with me. So this one stays in. It'll keep going. We'll get there eventually. I would just like to use it and get it out of the collection because I've had it for quite some time. My mom always got those things for me because I used them constantly back in the day. So I want to make sure that I get all of my use out of it. Then we next have the Boscom Valley Mysteries, something that someone gave you. I brought in my Cat in the Hat palette. This is I Heart Revolution. Never remember which brand is which. This is the one that my cousin and her granddaughter gave me for my birthday. And so this is the one I put in for Sydney. And with this, I did No Pan Left Behind, and I have this color and this color, I think. Yes, those are the only two left that I have to use, and I made sure that I did wear this on a day that I was with my cousin so she could tell Sydney that she saw me wearing it. So just a couple shades to use, and this one is going to be done, so this is probably going to be a rollout. It's going to be a rollout next month. There's no probably. I will make sure I do that. The Coffee Talk and the Cat in the Hat, I can get those uses in. Hold me to it, you guys. All right. The Adventure of the Engineer's Thumb. A dupe, counterfeit, or knockoff. With this, because Mandy Lee said so, I went with the Essence Befitting Blush. Befitting is the shade. It's number 10. This is what it looks like. And it is a dupe for the Hourglass Mood Exposure Blush. Like I said, that's what Mandy Lee told me, so that's what I'm going with. I put this in for 10 uses. I have so far gotten 7. Yeah, 7. So I have 3 more, so that should be rolling out for us next month, too. Then we had The Adventure of the Noble Bachelor, Something Gold. I told you guys, oh, and now I lost it again. I had a specific candle put aside for this, and then I moved it and lost it. So I brought in, hold that thought, I have it. This was what I wanted to bring in because it has these gorgeous dragonflies all over it, and it's gold and it's beautiful. And I set it off to the side and completely lost it. So instead, I brought in the Pink Lilac and Vanilla. They're both Bath and Body Works candles, but this has all the pretty gold flowers and stuff all over it. So I marked it. I'm down here. This was new when I brought it in. I've got some more left. I can use this. But you know that they never burn completely for me. So that'll be empty next month as much as I can get out of it. I love that scent. I love lilacs. They're my favorite flower. I think I've told you guys that several times. All right. So then we have got The Adventure of the Musgrave Ritual. Something you only use out of habit regardless of the reason. And I went with my ordinary Argyrolian solution. This was actually just down here when I brought it in. It's now empty. You can see it's all gone. Um, is it helping my lines? I have no clue, but I use it. That and the Matrixel, those are the two. And sometimes I use them together, sometimes I alternate. Just depends on what I've got in stock in my room and whatever at the moment. As soon as I finished that, I had ordered a bottle of Matrixel, and so I opened that, but I didn't have another bottle of Rogerline, so I haven't replaced that yet. One's for Fine, one's for Dynamic, and honestly, I don't know if either of them do anything, but I usually use at least one. Okay, The Adventure of the Norwood Builder, something passed on from another person. For this, I brought in the candle that my cousin made me. When I brought it in, it was all pretty, and you could see all the cubes, so it looked like it was a drink on ice. The wick, I don't know what we did when we bought wicks, but goodness gracious, that sucker burned high. Like, high. We have got some soot going on. This thing burns high. Problem is that the wick is also bending over. So I did put a little mark on where it is. I'm going to try and keep using it, but I don't know how much farther I'll get with it. So we will have to see how much use I can get, because this wax is a good wax. It's melting down really well, but I think the wick is going to give me a little bit more trouble. So that is staying in also until we can get it as far as we can get it. All right, so let's talk about the things I am bringing in. I did have some rollouts, but that does not determine, that does not determine how many things I bring in. I am trying to bring in 6 every month, and I know I started with an excessive number because I knew there were things that were going to be in a little bit longer. So let's talk about the next book. It is The Sign of the Four, a quad or a 6-pan palette. For that, I am bringing in a Viseart Petit-Four. That's how you say the name of the dessert, right? I think it's spelled the same. I do not speak French. But it's the petite palettes, basically. This one is in lilas. It is their technically lavender, lilac, I think is what it is. This is what it looks like. It's pinky and mauve-y. It's very pretty. And I looked at this and thought, well, The Sign of the Four was the second prompt on the list. It said a quad or a 6-pan. I have a quad, so that means I should have 6 uses, because 2 plus 4 is 6, and I didn't pick a 6-pan, so 6 uses. Did you ever wonder what my logic was? Well, now you know. Okay, the Hounds of the Baskervilles. I always say hound. I do not know why, but it's listed here as plural, hounds. So I will stumble over that or screw it up. Just plan on it. This is something spooky. So for this, I pulled in some more of my Notoriously Morbid. I decided that I am going to go with the shade Arcane. Okay, you're seeing the blue. I've got the purple. Can you see the purple when I turn it? It's a cool thing. And I like the word arcane. There we got purple and blue. There we go. It's not a word that's used very often, so I think that lends a little bit more to the mystery and the spooky nature. So I'm going to get through some of this stuff, and then I'm going to do swatches for you at the end on a few shades, because otherwise I'm going to have it all over me. You know how this works. So that is coming in for 5 uses. The Adventure of the Empty House, something you find challenging to use. I find gel eyeliners challenging in general. I am bringing in Melt. This is called OK Boomer. It's a grayish silvery color. This is their Metal Bond Gel Liner. I got this because I love gray and silver, and I use them a lot in my looks with other things. It's a color I tend to wear frequently. I got this because I thought it would be a cool base under some other things. I have not opened this yet. I have not used this yet. You're going to see the first swatch of it. And OK Boomer cracked me up because my parents were of the Boomer generation, so I just thought that would be something I would have actually said. So, it was on sale, too. There was a sale. Of course there was a sale. So you'll get a swatch of that a little bit here. Then we have The Adventure of Black Peter Forest, something that requires skill to use. This one is going to test to see if I have any skills. I am bringing in another Notoriously Morbid product. This is from their Murder of Crows line. And hopefully I remembered, when I'm watching this back, do this, to bring in the Notoriously Morbid logo, because it's a bat in flight. So it's a spooky logo anyway. This is a loose pigment. It is called 30 Hours of Pain. The Murder of Crows line, or section of their line, of the product, product line, that's what they are, is from the movie The Crow. That's what it's based on. So 30 Hours of Pain is part of the movie. I have never opened this. We're going to open it. We're going to put it on my hand, probably on my shirt, probably on my desk, but we're going to see what it's like. And I do have some bonding solution from the company also to use with these. These weren't oops. When I first ordered, I did not realize that they were not in pans. So I have a bunch of loose pigments that are gorgeous, but they scare me half to death. 5 uses for that. It's not like it would be the first time I had glitter all over my face. I'll be okay. All right. The Adventure of the Speckled Band. Something long and thin, snake-like, or venomous. For this, I am going with Hourglass. This is the red 0 color. It's got a spider on it, and spider bites can actually be poisonous. So it's not exactly snake-like, but it's long and thin. Reminds me of one of those old cigarette filters from the old black and white movies. Or else a stabby utensil. Take of that what you will. But I thought this was kind of that weird long and thin for a lipstick that is, you know, just the top part of the package, because these things come out. The packaging itself tends to be, oh really? Sure they do. They do come out, but I can't get it. But anyway, this is the product. This is all extraneous packaging. So it's cool, it's pretty, it's fun, but it's not necessary. So that's the one that I put in for the Adventure of the Speckled Band. Yeah, I put in another red. I know, I'm nuts. 5 uses on that. Okay, the Adventure of the Yellow Face. This is a sunscreen. I had recently gotten the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench Broad Spectrum SPF 45 Hyaluronic Cloud Moisturizer. Got all that? I had to write it down because I knew I wouldn't get it all otherwise. This is a 5 ml 0.17 ounce bottle. It's literally a moisturizer with sunscreen. I am not generally a huge fan of the Peter Thomas Roth stuff. Sorry, just not my cup of tea. But I'm going to use this till completion because it's summer and it's a sunscreen, so why not? I use sunscreen every day anyway. I'll end up using another sunscreen over it because I use my Supergoop, but it never hurts to have extra. So that is everything I'm bringing in. Let's get to some swatching, shall we? Oh, this is going to be messy. All right. So we're going to start with the Leeless palette. Yeah, we're just going to start. So, first shade, second shade, third, fourth. That's what they look like. Vizier, ooh, that's really light, is subtle, okay? You can blend them away if you overblend. So this is one of those that literally is a one and done. This is a quick, just throw it on, don't even mess around out the door for those days that I don't want to do all the makeup. Is kind of what I was thinking. You can't even see that third shade. Come on now, it shows up better than that. Well, on my skin tone, it doesn't show up a heck of a lot better than that. But, so yeah, pretty, really pretty. I think it's more pinky, but they did have another one that was Framboise, I think is the pink one. And that is, I have that too, and it is definitely pink, where this can kind of go a little more neutral. It's not so purpley. So that is what that is. Why do I never remember to bring something to wipe my hands on? Oh well. The Arcane Shadow from Notoriously Morbid that has the flip. See if I can get you flips. Maybe? No? Well, you saw the flip in the pan. Purple and blue. We'll be able to see it better once it's on the eyes and I'm shifting, blinking, and turning my head. So that's that one. Then I got 2 things I have to open up, but I think the plastic's still on this one. Is it? Please. Oh, no. Good. It's not. That'll make things easier. Okay. So the loose pigment from Notoriously Morbid 30 Hours of Pain doesn't have a sifter or anything. I mean, that's it. It is a big mess waiting to happen with El Clutzo here. So that's the color. And honestly, it'll actually pair really well with the quad if I want to go a little more crazy and throw some more in there. It's a kind of reddish, but I mean not so red. Okay. It's a brick red? Just so it's more of a dusty red, if that makes sense. I promised you I wasn't going to be completely crazy in this one. I lied. Sorry. I'm still all over the board. All right. You ready? You ready for this? This is the melt. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that silver, you guys. That's so pretty. I'm making a mess. Shocking, I know. All right, so. Ooh, that's nice and soft, too. Ooh. Okay, that almost looks kind of white, but I can probably build that and make it more silvery because my finger is silver. So it does shear out a bit, but I can build it. That's going to be fun to play with. Oh, I'm excited. So excited. And honestly, I do have a few colors. I had gotten a cheap one, like a NYX, like a drugstore, and I've used it a couple times, and it is so dry, and I don't have Duraline, so I thought, well, I'm going to try Melt, because that dried out super quick, and it was just okay. This already, I can tell you, is different. It's a softer formulation. It's real smooth, where that was more of a thicker putty type, in case you ever wondered. All right, let's draw some red lipstick on my hand. I have worn this once. If you've ever watched my What's on Decks, I did a lipstick thing, and I think this was also in my haul video. But we got a nice, good red there. I'm going to have to stop saying I'm scared of reds because I seem to own a million of them, and I keep putting them in projects. So if I was scared, I won't be for long at this rate. Okay, now that my fingers are covered, and my hands are covered, and I'm a hot mess, as usual, I think that is... Wow. Yeah, that's what it's like to be me. Now I have lipstick on my palm. Well, alrighty then. It's time to let you good people go. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for letting me show you all the fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, see ya. Bye.